everybody, welcome to Tea Time Garden. Today we're going to talk about peaches. Jeff brought home some fresh peaches yesterday from one of his clients, and these are the Texas Royal peaches. I'm so excited. We're going to can peaches, and I'm going to save some to make some fresh peach cobbler this week. So, the first thing we want to do is make our syrup. So I have 2 quarts of water, 1 cup of sugar. Put that in here. Let me grab my spoon. What we're going to want to do is mix that in real good, and I'm going to let it boil. So I've got all the sugar mixed in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to a boil for about 5 minutes. Then what you want to do is take it off of the heat, and you want to let it completely cool down. And that's how you make your syrup. First, we're going to start with boiling some water. All of these peaches that I picked out for this are going to go in the water. We're going to blanch them and peel the skins off. Look how nice that looks. So now that the water is getting nice and warm, I'm going to place some peaches inside of the warm water. So here, as you can see, I have all the peaches inside of the hot water. I'm going to let these sit in here for probably about a good 30 seconds to a minute, and then we'll pull them out and put them into a bowl. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to take these out. You don't want to leave them in the hot water for too long. You don't want to cook them. You're just trying to soften them up so it'll be easier to take the skin off. Oh, I guess I should I should have the bowl underneath the strainer. I mean, does it make sense? Okay, sorry. I was just trying to hurry up and get these taken out, and didn't even have the bowl underneath my strainer. That's just great. There goes my timer for something else. Anyway, so I'm going to get the rest of these out, and then we'll be right back. Now what we're going to do is let them sit in cold water. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to sterilize these mason jars. These are pint jars. So you can sterilize them in hot boiling water, but I'm going to do it this way for about 20 minutes. And I have the oven temperature around 220, 225. I'm going to do this for about 20 minutes. So now what we're going to do is, as you can see, now that they've cooled off, you can start peeling the skin off of it. See how easy these start to come off. Oh my God, these smell so delicious. And now you've peeled off your peach, set it to the side, and keep peeling all the rest of them, and then we will start slicing them. So right now what I'm doing is I'm slicing the peaches. So you want to just remember there's a hard core in there. So what you want to do is just cut down to that core and take off your slice, just like that. Perfect. Should come right off. There we go. Perfect. And then in another video, what we'll do is we'll talk about saving seeds from these pits. They're hard to open. You have to have vice grips. But anyway, that's another video. So I'll continue to do the slicing and then we'll continue with other steps. So now what I have done is I took the syrup that I made and I put it in this pan and I dropped the sliced peaches into the syrup. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it to a boil. I'm not gonna cook it, I just wanna get it really hot so we can put the hot peaches inside of the jars. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm going to boil these lids to sterilize them. So bring the water to a boil, let it heat for a few minutes, and then take them out. As you can see, my jars are now hot and sterilized, and I'm going to place the peaches into the jars. You do want to put the hot peaches into the hot jars. Here's the jar full of peaches. So now what I want to do is you can use a funnel, or you can pour it into a pitcher and do this. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ladle the hot syrup into the jar and fill it about, I'm going to put a little too much in there. Let me take some out. Fill it to about 1/4 inch to the top. And now the lids are sterilizing, so we'll move on to the next process of putting our lids on. So you can see what I've done. It took 3 jars, not 4, so I'm just gonna remove this jar. But you can see I filled up the jars with all the peaches. I put in the syrup to about 1/4 inch from the top. And then now the most important thing you wanna remember always is you need to wipe the rims off before you put the lids. You don't want those lids to pop off. You want them, after you're done with the canning process, you want them to seal properly. Just make sure you wipe them all off. Like that. Okay, and then the lids will go on. You've got your sterilized lids. Careful if it's still too hot. And then you're going to put the bands on, and you don't want to twist it too tight, just do it finger tight. Because when these are in the water boiling, you don't want, what you want is for any of the air bubbles to come out. And as a matter of fact, I just showed you how to, put the lids on there, but what you need to do before that process, and actually, let me go ahead and show that to you now, is you want to take some type of spatula or whatnot, and you want to, I'm going to do a small one, but what you want to do is go in and remove any air bubbles down from the jar before you place your lids on and put them in the canner. As you can see, some of those little air bubbles you saw, that's you getting the air out real good. See that? I would use something kind of soft, like a plastic little spatula. This one's a silicone one, just so I don't really damage the fruit inside the jars. Okay. So what I would do is do that before you wipe your room. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe them down again just to make sure I don't have any fluid. All right, now you can go ahead and place the lids on all of your jars. and twist the bands on them. Oops. Haha. Tea time bloopers. Let's see, put that back on. Actually, I'm going to wipe that down since that happened. I'm going to wipe it down again just in case. Okay, there you go. I'm going to twist those just finger tight. That way, like I said, when these are boiling in the canner, it's also going to allow, if you don't have them too tight on there, it'll allow the air to come out as well. What's going on now is when you have boiling water in your stock pot, as the water is simmering, that's when you want to place your jars into the stock pot. If you do not have a water bath canner that comes with a rack that holds your lids up, what I did is I just used aluminum foil, like the heavy duty aluminum foil, and I placed some rolled aluminum foil on the bottom. That helps hold the cans up from the bottom of the pot. You don't want your glass on your jars to crack. So that's what I did. So anyway, your water needs to be above the lids. And so you want to boil this, not a heavy boil, but just a light boil, a rolling boil is what I'm trying to say. Do that for about 20 minutes and then you'll pull the jars out. So I took the jars out of the boiling water and I placed them here on this little rack in a towel. You can set them on the towel without this rack. But as they start to cool down, the lids will make a popping sound. And that's how you know that your lids have sealed. This one just popped. They're still hot. That one, that one. So another way to test to see if your cans have sealed is if you press down on it, it should not do that. See the difference? This one still needs to seal. These two have sealed already. So there you have it. There is my process for canning my fresh peaches. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel for more future videos. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, or you can send an email to teatimegarden@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the views, and I hope to see you guys again. Thanks.